I'm like, whoa, is it going to say this? And then I know that there's nothing else for me to say, so I just follow it along and see. Did that say what I wanted it to say? And what do you know, it did. It's amazing. Sometimes you can preemptively know what's going on happen in the future, and then you can start to wish to direct it in that direction, you know. But you're gonna have to just allow it to flow. Just depends on where you're at, really. A lot of people are still controlling and manipulating. I'm all about the surrender. I'm all about the allowance of flow to happen on its own. To surrender to the deepest part of myself, to my heart, to the moment, to all that is, to the unity that is occurring always. That I am not a being doing anything, that I am literally pure consciousness. And this is an amazing thing. You know, this is the way that I found to massage, to play, to move energy, to do so many different things. You know, I found so many different teachings, so many different learnings, so many different growth processes, so many different ways to align in the breath. You know, everything that I do is following the breath. Everything that I do constantly, no matter what it is you see me doing. You know, speaking, sitting, sleeping, this, that, it's all the flow of the breath. I would say that it's most likely the case for all of us. But we just don't notice it. You know, even when we hold our breath, we think that we're not, you know, part of the breath. We think that something's occurring. It really upset me when I hear people say the word Hali, like, without the breath of life. It's like, how could somebody be without the breath of life? What do you mean? It's the only thing moving anything. I mean, I guess this was a way to distinguish and to be hateful towards somebody else. This was not aloha in my mind. I don't care what it was, it seemed like was going on, you know. They have deep compassion for those that don't have understanding. But of course, you know, they had laws to kill one another, they had all these things, you know, death crime laws, and all kinds of things, you know. So there's a different form of compassion happening here, that's for sure. But that's okay. We can now come to a time through all of our learning, through all of our growth, through all of our tolerance, through all of our connecting to all of our different frequencies, energies, and vibrations, and we can see, okay, now we know from this many teachers and from these many teachers, if we are able to combine the teachings, then we'll really be able to see a good way to be. I always love that Tibetan Buddhism has made it so far. It's like, oh, thank goodness Tibetan Buddhism has come this far. Thank goodness that we can finally really see ourselves and have compassion for ourselves, because I haven't seen anything as compassionate as Tibetan Buddhism on the planet. Maybe other forms of Buddhism, I don't know. But I practice this form of Buddhism, and I love it. I am so grateful for Papa Shambhava, for perhaps the Dalai Lama, I don't know. I've never met the man. I haven't heard a lot of his teachings either. Some people are deeply against the Dalai Lama. Some people are deeply for the Dalai Lama. I don't know. I'm just for all the amazing masters. So the ones that I've met personally, like Lama Gyaltsen, amazing, phenomenal wisdom being. You know, my teacher, Lama Sostra Malione, thank you so much for her and all these things. What I call myself a Tibetan Buddhist. Well, I took refuge vows and bodhisattva vows. I'm a bodhisattva. I have completed many of the practices. But I am a person that wouldn't label himself in some kind of a way, some kind of shape, some kind of a form. It would be silly to me to do such a thing. But I love Tibetan Buddhism. I love the mantras. I love the way that they've weaved energy into all of reality in a really phenomenal fashion, in ways that people have not even begun to imagine possible. They have no template in which to grow that kind of an image through within the minds of themselves at this time. So how do we find this? How do we find understanding within ourselves? This is important. You know, how do we go deeply inwards? You know, the path that I took was a fast, acceleratory route. It can also be a very dangerous route, because it takes a releasing of the ego to really have such an amazing, smooth transfer into teachings as if I did. And there's a lot of things that I have to transfer, and a lot of things I have to show, you know, a lot of things that I've learned, such as, you know, people, place, things. Where are we around? Who are we around? You know, how do we keep ourselves safe from, you know, people that have a bad intention towards us? And what does it do to connect these energies to us anyway? You know, how do you judge something and open up a gateway through a portal of energy for their energy to enter into yours due to your judgment, due to your thought, due to your hate, due to your this, due to your that? If your judgment of something, you know, it could take many forms. Maybe you just determine that they can't understand it, that they won't understand. You know, and so you don't offer them truth. You know, maybe you have an authentic expression you wish to share with them, but you won't offer it to them. Why is this? You know, are they not worthy, or are they not able to get it? Like, what is it? You know, that's going going on that causes this. You don't feel safe. All kinds of things could happen. That's okay. You know, this form of honesty, you know, may be too great for somebody originally starting out. So let's, you know, bring ourselves to baby steps. You know, sometimes people just stand up for themselves in certain ways, and that's their honesty. You know, maybe you can be very sweet when you're telling somebody the truth of yourself. Like, hey, you know, I really like it when you do this, whatever it is. Maybe you just start internally. You know, begin by not judging yourself and telling yourself what you like and what you don't like, and really viewing what all that is. You know, being honest with you, like, you know, just you don't want to speak it to other people in gossip ways, you know. Maybe you do. Maybe that's a way that you open it up. Maybe you have to open it up through using the internet, you know. Just putting a long post on there saying, you know, I don't have a way to express this to anybody, I'm too afraid, so I'm going to express this on the internet instead. But I'm going to get the expression out there, and I'm going to find a way to articulate myself in an honest way. You know, these are amazing tools, wonderful things. You know, if you ever feel like taking the medicine path, open yourself up by setting a really pure intention. Go very deep in yourself. Now, this may seem very difficult, very hard to do. So I'm not saying, you know, you should do this or you shouldn't do this. Perhaps you are already doing this, and that's amazing. I'm very happy for you. There's a lot of teachings on perfection I wish to bring to you. You know, all of these emotions, all of these feelings, all of these things that have caused me to be here with you now today. You know, all of these things. There's not a single thing that hasn't caused me. Just as it was here speaking. Now, why would I be here speaking anyway? It's a very long video, pretty much talking about nothing. Repetitive statements, all these things. Why? Why? It can take a long time to get somewhere. It can take a long time to prepare the ground. It can take a long time to bring through teachings. And these teachings are so simple, they don't even seem like teachings. So this person's just talking about nothing. Well, that's maybe something that you'd be able to look for. Nothing's a pretty fun thing to find. I personally really like nothing a lot. They say, what's so good about nothing? Well, you know, it's an empty feeling, really. Emptiness, the hollow bone. Who are you? You're not being. You know, you're not anything. You're not nothing either. You're everything. But what is everything? One thing. How would we see what it means? How could we point towards it with words in an accurate way? Well, not through hearing words from another person, not through hearing anything that I have to say. You're going to have to understand it yourself through your own direct experience. We are amazing beings. We are phenomenal things. We can do things unlike what other people can do. And I just sit here and surrender to you. You know, I just walk around. I follow the flow. I've already realized myself. I've already gone to amazing places within myself. And every day I go deeper into these amazing places. I hold on to this experience of my path, and I bring it forth through feeling, through emotion, through authenticity. And I pave the way, a clear path for other people to be able to do the same. And they do the same for me as well. We all do this together. I have a lot to share through this path, through this understanding. And I wish to share it. And I wish to be taken care of too. I'm like, oh, what do I do? You know, how do I get myself taken care of while I share these things? Oh, I don't know, you know. I guess I just have no choice but to trust instead. I could try to move in this way, move in that way, and, well, I tell you, unless I actually have the true motivation to be able to do so, it's not going to be possible for me. Like, you know, maybe, but, you know, here I am, right where I am. I'll just surrender to it, just trust it. I want to bring a lot of different energy practices to you, and a lot of different showings of the flow. How do you teach surrender, though? You know, it's like, teaching surrender is quite impossible, isn't it? How could you do this? I could show you my surrender, and then maybe you could be alerted that, hey man, this person has some kind of information for me here. But how much information do I have for you? You know, the information I have for anybody is very powerful information. Maybe that's why I don't actually put out, the amazing, powerful teachings that I think I might put out every time I put on here. I'm like, man, this feels so much more powerful. And maybe it's just the symbolization of whoever is going to see this isn't quite ready for that. And, that's okay. But either way, I'm going to meet somebody later on today or tomorrow or whenever it comes, and I'm going to transfer whatever energy is beneficial for them personally, and I'm going to trust it, and it's going to move through, and it's going to be amazing. Maybe sometimes I don't have anything to say. Maybe sometimes I show them confusion. Maybe sometimes I show them this, and maybe sometimes I show them that. As to not build up the preference for an ego identity. They're like, hey, this guy yesterday was perfect. What happened to him today? Hey, don't worry. It's a reflection of yourself here. It's okay. You can be any way. You don't have to bear to yourself some kind of thought of purity, some thought of impurity through that thought of purity. You don't have to judge yourself. You can allow yourself to be, very lucid, very liquidous, very loose. Just kind of moving through like water, like, changing form, not holding to one form. When water becomes ice, it breaks. Lots of expands, yeah. I guess you could become like ice, or a gas. Be fun. Do whatever you want. It's fine. It's all perfect. And I see that more and more every day. I understand more and more every day in every way. As it brings me through this motion and through that motion and through that motion, it brings me to this experience and this sadness and this happiness and this way and that way and that way. It just brings me to all the people that I need to see for all those, to transfer all the energies of my experience, because I have to be like, I'm feeling this way, and I know things to be this way, and I know things to be that way, and this is the reason why I know things to be that way, and I know things to be that way. And I have this feeling, I just can't figure out, what's going on with this feeling, and it's feeling this and feeling that, and then all of a sudden, what do you know? They have the same feeling. I'm like, oh, good, this is wonderful. Now I can see why this is happening, and then I can transfer them my perception, because I have a very light perception in some way. I have a very high awareness. I have a lot of experience to be able to understand this. I'm like, oh, okay, well, here. I guess that the reason this is happening is because we were both able to match in this frequency, we're both able to do this thing this time, so we're both able to help each other in some way. And then I get to tell them about the emptiness, I get to tell them about this, I get to tell them about that, and I get to tell them about how they're the same as me. Now, will they believe that they're the same as me? I mean, it doesn't matter if they believe it or not. They're still going to have to experience it and understand it from another form, but I'm still transferring an energy that is beneficial. It's a teaching. You give somebody a lung, it doesn't mean that they immediately, have the understanding that you may be wishing for them to have, but they may immediately be able to go through energy in a really amazing, phenomenal fashion. Whoa! Which is fine, There's a lifeguard there. I wanted to make sure I was not going to be talked to. But yes, give somebody a lung and empowerment. It doesn't mean that they immediately have realization or direct experience in this situation, but it allows them the gateway to be able to begin having this. So I go around and I give empowerment, I give lung, to the lineage in which I am a holder of. The lineage that has come to me has been given me through my surrender to all of reality, and has been something that I've been carrying with me, not just in this lifetime, but many lifetimes. And I'm learning more and more ways to transfer this in really amazing ways that are very beneficial for anybody that may be listening. When I've been going through all these different mudras, all these different feelings, all these different body flows, all these different energies and experiences, and understanding more deeply the route of perfection. Understanding more deeply the play of the world, the play of the mind, and ways to discuss with it anybody who happens to be trapped within this. How do we move through this? How do we move deeper into ourselves? How do we help one another? How do we find what is effortless? How do we find what is giving truly? What do we do? I'm feeling very tired. Right now I'm starting to feel exhausted in my head. I'm starting to feel heaviness in my eyes. I'm starting to feel hungry and thirsty. And so for me, this this means that I'll probably meet somebody in some way, and it's just the next route. I'm already done with this here now. I want to keep it going, but you know, whenever I start to become repetitive, perhaps I'm trying too hard, or perhaps I'm not. It seems as though this whole time I've been effortless, but right now it's going to take much more effort to continue this. It's going to take much more force, you know. I feel so hungry, I feel so tired, I feel so weighted. I want to stay in the sun. I want my butt to be tan. I want to be all tan all over my body, you know, kind of pale on my pelvis area. But I like myself to feel fully in the sun. I want to be out here for like 4 hours, what I was thinking. Maybe I'll go back to my van and get some water. Maybe I'll take you with me. Who knows? We'll find out right now. Put on my shorts. Can't walk to the car without the shorts on. I mean, I can, but don't disturb people. So, I won't do it. Why do I want to disturb anybody, whatever part of the fat they're on? It's like I was just saying before, you know, people need whatever energy it is that they need. So that's why more intimately, I'm able to do much deeper energies. But here on this online site, you know, you never know who's going to watch. You don't want to burn out their filament. You don't want to mislead them in some way. So I just trust. Maybe I have an idea of where it's going to go, and maybe that idea doesn't get realized, and that's perfect. That's fine. Who knows? Maybe there's another way for me to begin this that would create it more pointed in some manner. Maybe there's a way to begin this to where I would be able to really understand. In an amazing way, preparing, and how to bring it through. Yeah. Who knows? I right now have no idea. You know, I just have to trust, surrender, flow. Who knows what can happen moment to moment, but I know of my experience, and I know how everything is working in a really amazing, phenomenal way. And I want to transfer this information to you. A lot of people have seen me and judged me and said, oh, he's too abrupt, he's too egotistical, he's too this, he's too that. But they do not know me. And that's okay, you know, that was a beautiful filter then. I mean, what, I have like maybe 10 viewers at the most, probably mostly only like 2 or 3 viewers. That's okay. That's not a problem. This is an energy that wishes to come through me, and so as an empty conduit of this energy, I allow it to come through me however it wishes, with whatever accent it wishes to come through, whatever way it wishes to come through. I could change the way that I speak, but that would be a force, and so I don't force it. Sometimes I talk that way, sometimes I talk that way. I just allow it to come as it wishes to come, and I love it. I love to do this. Whenever I start to force myself, I'm like, oh, I got a little off the channel, you know, I decided to, with my mind, some way for it to be. No reason for me to do that. You know, I could trust that, yes, the natural expression of the moment is perfect, and yes, it is exactly what we need. This is like difficult for me, because I'm like, am I putting anything potent out right now? It's like, well, I don't know if it has any potency at all, or relevance to anybody's journey in any way, but it's what's coming through. So maybe I could turn away from it, maybe I could stop it short, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, run away in fear, maybe I could just trust it and see what happens. Maybe it's a benefit, maybe it's not a benefit, who is to decide? And this may be helpful for somebody. Maybe somebody is understanding, you know, what it is that's happening. Maybe there is somebody that is on this particular level of reality that is going to be watching this and could understand, like, whoa, this person is doing nothing but channeling. He's doing nothing but following the breath. He's doing nothing but trusting. And he's doing it in any way that it wishes to come. He's not deciding. It doesn't seem like it has to be this way or it has to be that way. And I can see how through all these different flows and all these different things of presence, you know, it just happens to come out in the perfect way. It's like, who knows? You know, maybe people that don't have understanding can see it. It's okay. Maybe people that do have understanding can see it. Who knows? I can't tell. But man, this guy, all he does is talk to himself all day. Oh yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I do. I mean, that's pretty much all any of you do. Sometimes we talk with one another. It's fun. I have had some really good meetings recently with some amazing beings, some phenomenal people. We've really transferred some really high and charismatic, phenomenal energy about the changing of the world. It's beautiful how we can bring love to all the world, how we can bring these energies to all the world, these teachings, these understandings for everything to see, all beings. It's beautiful. Ah, something moved there. Oh, look at that. They dragged it over quite a bit. Wonder what would happen when it falls. I don't know. Ah. So, soon we will do more, and there will be a lot more energy here for you, and a lot more energy coming from me for you, and we'll talk about energy lines and grids and flows of the body in a really simple way, in a way that's just been directly experienced, that hasn't been had to be learned by anybody. You may say, oh, well, what about this grid line, or what about this channel line, and what about this and that? I'm like, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I can tell you about the flow of the universe and how everything's going, and how you don't have to look very far outside of yourself. You can just be right here, present in the moment, or you can look to the future. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. I have an image sometimes come unto me and tells me where to go. Like right now, I feel like I need to get some water. Maybe I'll make some eggs and put them inside of a croissant and eat egg croissants this morning. That'd be nice. Maybe I won't do that. I don't know. We'll find out what I'll do. That sounds nice, though. It sounds like a nice, easy meal to have, and I don't have to spend any money on it, and that's another good thing, because I don't have a lot of money. So I don't want to be spending anything. I was just done working, and that was perfect. All day, every day, nothing but the most impeccably perfect flows constantly occurring. I'm like, oh my goodness, how is this possible? I don't know. Just what is, I guess. I still would like to find a friend. Maybe I'll find one today. Who knows? Maybe I won't. Maybe I just have to feel this way until I don't feel this way. I just got to express it to a bunch of people for some reason, and that's what's of benefit to them. I feel kinds of energies sometimes, and I don't really know why I feel those energies. And I'm like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel that way? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? And it's like, well, you feel this way so that you will be able to be relevant to the next person you're going to meet, or the next thing you're going to say on the camera, or whatever it is. That's the reason. It's like, alright, so I'll just embrace this, I'll just accept this, I'll just move with this, and I'll continue to express this until a time when it's no longer wishing to be expressed. It's an energy that's moving through me for the whole entirety of the universe and for its benefit. So I can help it move through me, or I can hold it inside and suppress it, and I can take it with me wherever I go, or I can just continue to express and allow it to go. Like, oh, here we go. And through this expression tactic, it's a really amazing way to heal everything inside of me. I get excited about it. It's so early. It's so hot out here. Hanging out at Rainbow Park. It's amazing up there. It's so nice. I might go back up there. Alright. Well, here we are at the van. Guess we're still talking. I don't really know what we're going to talk about anymore. I mean, maybe we're done. Maybe that was all we needed to say. Which would be fun for me. I mean, I'm tired of talking to you. Not all the way, apparently. I just don't know where we're going with this. So I'm like, what am I doing here? But this is like life for me, Don't ever know what I'm doing. I'm like, what am I doing here? I guess I'm just waiting for something. Okay, let me feel. Okay, I feel like going there. Go here. I kind of feel like going there because I want to do something, but I don't feel like going anywhere, so I guess I'll just stay here. Yeah. This is interesting. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I try to figure it all out all the time, Good friends. Good everything. People. A lot of tourists coming back to the island. Maybe I'll sell something. Well, I love you all. Thank you for everything. It's amazing to see you. Amazing to see us all. You looking great, bruh. Love you.